What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel for yet another video. Today I take my Canon R7 out into the world to test its abilities with some junior rodeo action. It's been about a month or so since getting my Canon R7, and I've taken it out to some car shows and out hiking to check out some local petroglyphs, as well as getting some shots of our local abandoned brothel. But I haven't really used it for the number one reason I bought it for: sports. The local baseball championships were in mid-August, and the drag strip has been undergoing some very much needed repairs and renovations, which really didn't leave me a whole lot of options. When I took the camera out hiking into the car shows, I got some pretty good shots, as you can see up on the screen, but in a town of this size, you're kind of limited. The shots came out nice and the camera was comfortable in my hand, but I needed to test it. I mean, really test it. So I was contacted by one of the people that run the local paper here. They asked if I'd like to attend the junior rodeo and take some photos. Well, here was my opportunity. I finally get to test this R7 and see if I made the right purchase. Now, I wasn't able to get video on this day because JD wasn't there, and honestly, I forgot to pull out my GoPro. But I'll have photos popping up on the screen for you to see. Now, I'm gonna be honest real quick. Rodeo is probably the funniest sport I've attended, mainly because of the whole setup. You know, you got 1,000-pound bulls trying to obliterate everything in its way, broncos bucking people 10 feet into the air, people wrestling cows, and the funnest of all, clowns. Anyway, moving on. So this not being my first rodeo, I immediately looked for a spot that I felt would have the best compositions. Well, the fairgrounds went ahead and pulled the old switcheroo on me yet again and moved the staging area around again, putting it back to the original position that I wasn't a big fan of. But this time was different, because this time not only did I have the Canon R7, which is an APS-C sensor, giving me a 1.6 times crop, I also bought my big old Sigma 120-400, putting that on my R7, turned it into a 192-640 millimeter. So I sat all the way across the arena facing the release gates head on. This would ensure that no judges would get in front of my shot. Right? Right. So everything was lining up to be a great day. I was in position, the sun would often get covered by the clouds in the sky, doing away with harsh shadows. Everything was perfect. Now it all came down to the camera. So my theory when it comes to rodeo is this: horses and bulls don't buck as fast as a ball is thrown, or as fast as a bat swings. So I made the choice to shoot strictly an electronic shutter. Now, the R7 is known for having a really bad rolling shutter because it's not a stacked sensor, but my gut told me to just go for it. So I did, and here's what I got. So as it turns out, I need to listen to my gut more. I figured based on the position the animals were leaving the gate, as well as the speed while bucking, I'd be fine, and I was. I didn't notice any bad shutter drag at all. Not that I would ever try that with baseball or football, but in this case, it worked. Now here are my thoughts on the R7 itself. The camera is just a beast. It really is. The focus locked right onto the person when I set the tracking to people, and did the same as far as locking it onto the horses and calves when I set it to animals. At no point did the camera show any signs of overheating, never lagged on me, it never gave me any issues, and I never outran the buffer. I was shooting 30 frames in electronic and would sometimes hold the shutter button down for 4-5 seconds. I'm truly very happy that I made the decision to buy this camera. It may not be the R3 with a stacked sensor, but it gets the job done, and gets the job done very well. After shooting with the Canon EOS R, getting 8 frames high speed and jumping up to 15 mechanical and 30 electronic, I feel like I've moved way up as far as cameras go. You know, the quality is great, the autofocus is great, the tracking system is outstanding. It's all around just a badass camera. Now there is one thing that I don't like, and the fact that this one thing annoys me as much as it does is quite funny. But the mechanical shutter just sounds terrible. It sounds sad, honestly, like the shutter's depressed. Check this out, just listen. just sounds sad. I don't know. To me, it just sounds sad. It's weird. It annoys me that this is the only thing on this camera that makes it feel middle of the road or even low end. Everything else is top notch. It's everything that I personally need at this point. So I hope some of you picked something up from this video and, you know, maybe helped you in making the decision to either buy or not buy the Canon R7. With that said though, that's gonna do it for me for this video. So until the next time, get out and shoot. You'll feel better, I promise. And I'll see you in the next one. Later.